Just sitting here waiting. I got new stuff today. So while we're sitting here waiting, go ahead and sharpen a knife. How are you doing today? Oh, sweet. We got 7 people in here. How are you doing today? Anybody got anything special going on tonight? How you doing, Maxilla? Oh, now that you're here, I think 154 cm would be a great blade steel. I know I brought it up in the comments on a previous video, but it just came to mind. It's a great steel overall. I'd highly suggest it for anybody in the budget range that wants good stainlessness, decent edge retention, and decent toughness as well. Let's go ahead and bring this up a bit. And I'm doing all right. I don't have a whole lot going on tonight. Here in about a half hour, I'm going to let people pick what I carry next week. I'm going to give a few options. And we'll see how that goes. Hopefully people pick something nice. So this is an electrician's knife. Not 100% sure when it's from, but Camillus made these in New York. Well, I'll throw some options out right now and let you see what you want me to carry next week. And we'll make it fair. If I can get a pocket clip for this one, then I'll carry this one next week. As an option, anyway. I'm trying to get a new blade for this one. There's nothing wrong with this one. I think I've carried just about everything else on the table. Oh. And this one. So these are the 7 options. This is a CGRB Ruffian, a Case Large Trapper, a Kershaw Launch 1, a Gerber Covert Auto, a Hogue EX A01, a Gerber Fast Draw, and a Cold Steel Lucky 2. These are all options. So these 3 right here, or these 3 right here. So these 3 then. Okay, I will keep that in mind for later. We'll see what other people think. How you doing, Knives Are Life? Currently, for the next half hour, I guess, we're going to be picking what I carry next week. So far, these top 3 have 1 point. Whichever one has the most points gets chosen, and I carry it next week. I'm doing all right. I don't have a whole lot going on. Just a minute ago we were sharpening stuff. I think I'm good on both of those, Tyler. These three as well? Okay. If I can get a pocket clip for this one in the next week, I'd be really happy with that. It's a really good knife. I snapped it. Definitely sad about that. Well, while we're sitting here waiting, you know, it really sucks because all my knives are sharp. I don't have anything to sharpen. I kind of have nothing to do other than just kind of sit here. Guess we could sharpen this. Yeah, we could sharpen this. It's not great. I'm going to put it this way. It's these four that I'd prefer to carry, but I wouldn't mind this one or this one. I've never carried this thing and I've owned it for over a year now. I was just too scared of breaking the tip off of this. So we'll stick these 5 up on top and people can pick from those 5. And while we're doing that, we're going to sharpen this little pile. Holy crap, that's a terrible angle. Yeah, that's really disappointing. That's uncomfortable too. Oh, this was one of those that I was supposed to sell. Whoops. Well, guess I'll hit the pawn shops later too. Oh well. I'm going to go ahead and remove the Hogue because it doesn't have a pocket clip and there's no way I can carry it without one comfortably. So we're going to go ahead and take that one out of the race. So it's from these 4. I guess we'll see if that pole works. Cool. Showed up. What to do, what to do. I don't have a whole lot to do. It was a busy day today. Well, go ahead and leave a. Go ahead and say what option in the poll of what you want me to carry out of these four. All four are great knives. Well, these three are great knives. This thing's kind of a piece of crap. It's entertaining to flip around though because it's got a switch. We'll go ahead and leave those right here. Kind of wish I had something else to do. You know what we should do while we sit here and wait? My Kershaw leak's been making some weird noises. Let's go ahead and work on that. Makes a weird sound when it's closing, so we'll go ahead and do something about that right now. Unless I already fixed it. Yep, don't hear it anymore. Dang, I really have nothing to do. Woohoo! Somebody agreed with me. It's actually the knife that I wanted to carry. Hmm. I know what an Emerson CQC is, but I don't think I've ever heard of the other one. It's an interesting name. If I had a second phone right now, I could start making more graphs. So if you've been following along for the last week or so, I've been doing short videos on blade steels and explaining what their compositions are. And to do that, I spent like an hour and a half making this graph on a pizza box. And this graph is huge with all the materials that they could have come up with or that they would need in them. And again, took me about an hour and a half. It was annoying. Kept having interruptions. But if you have any questions about any of the blade steels on here, please feel free to ask. I'll answer as best as I can. Questions about what do I usually carry, or if I could carry it, what I would carry. Just any questions about knives that I might have in general. It seems like I've yet again killed the stream. There's no way we're just going to have one vote on this. No way. I mean, I knew it was late, but is Metal Complex still doing his stream? Thought he would have finished it by now. Yeah, that makes it look better. God, I literally have nothing to do. I guess while we're sitting here, I can talk about how this week's carry went. This week, I carried the SOG Terminus XR in D2. It's a decent knife. I enjoyed it, but it's a little hard to use the thumb studs without. It rips it really gets a grip on your finger and pulls your finger away from your fingernail. Nice and smooth after I did some maintenance on it. My gripes about this knife are that they use T6 screws for the pivot, the one spot where you need more torque than all the other screws. So that's an issue if you ask me. Their XR lock isn't bad. It's not quite as smooth as Benchmade's crossbar lock. It's still smooth though. It was definitely different having a flipper for something with the crossbar lock. It took some getting used to. I was more used to something like this where it glides out and closes really easily. But this doesn't have that same action. No other real complaints about it. I'm impressed at how they took care of their edge. If you can see it, it is a mirror finish. It's the first knife that I have that has a mirror finish, and it came like that from factory. Not that YouTube's going to show that, but nice and shiny. Really good at distracting people. It does have an interesting sound when you open it too, and I do like that sound. It's a stainless sound. I don't know how you explain it any other way. Stainless makes a different sound than other steels or other materials. But overall, comfortable. Choke up is nice. You do have another spot for your finger up here for if you need to do push cuts. Great. Honestly, overall, just great performance. I never had to sharpen it. I never had to do anything with it other than enjoy it. How you doing, Mad? I'm just sitting here doing a short review on this thing. Told people I'd do a live stream and let them pick what I carry next week. So that's what I'm doing today. I literally have nothing to do. I'm so bored. I wish I had something interesting to do. We could sit here and strop with a piece of cardboard. Yeah, this is a SOG Terminus in D2 with the LTE clip, which is way better than the other clip that they came out with. That was a stupid idea to come out with the other one. Everybody's only real gripes about this knife is the other pocket clip that was a cutout, stamped piece of crap. Everybody hated that thing. I got this one for $20, so I didn't pay brand new price. I would have liked the red one, but I'm not going to spend the extra $30 when I could get it for 20. There's also the fact that I had the chance to get the S35 VN version for like 80. I just didn't want to spend $80. It's a lot of money. Let's sit here and strap on cardboard because I have nothing better to do. But yeah, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask. No, my launch one is in CPM 154. I don't know if they made it in MagnaCut. If they did, I'd love to have one. But MagnaCut's a little out of my price range. The only thing in MagnaCut that I have is this tactile. This is the Bayer. I enjoyed carrying this. I carried it for a good 2 months in this little slip on my waistband. Great knife. I really enjoyed it. I enjoy the traditionals a lot. It was fun. So yeah, this one's a factory second. With the tiger stripes. I don't know what about this one specifically they didn't like that didn't pass their quality control. After looking this thing over, other than the small amount of use that this thing had, because bought it from a pawn shop for $20, I can't tell what they didn't like about it. There's no blemishes that I can tell, but that's what factory second knives are, is knives that aren't perfect. So, I don't know. Got a good deal on it though. $20 is ridiculously good. Factory second brand new goes for like $90. Hey, how you doing, Beef? I'm actually pretty close to hitting 300 subs. I last time I checked earlier today, I was at 292. It's been steadily going up since I've been doing the daily shorts for this month. Pretty impressed with that. Last time I did a stream, any fake knives? I do, actually. I only have I have two. So this is it's a Benchmade Gold Class fake. I got this before I knew that Benchmade was an actual company. I kind of thought that it was just a cool looking knife. $50. The real ones are 700. It's not bad. It's comfortable. It's a little small, but insanely smooth. I'm not gonna tell you where I got it, but yeah. And then the other one that I didn't know was a fake when I got it is this CRKT Fossil Mini. As far as I can tell, it's fake. It doesn't have any uh, markings on the back, and the full size one that I have does. So this one down by the tang says 5470. This one's supposed to say 5460. You really can't tell that it's a fake other than cosmetically. I have no complaints about this thing. But I bought this thing used from Pawn Shop too. I bought these two as a pair for 50. Yeah. You can find them on my Instagram. I got a picture of the two of them against a tree. Oh, did you buy it? It's really unfortunate when you buy something and and you don't know it's fake. They make really good fakes these days. It's ridiculous. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. It's they're getting really, really good at it. But that's what happens when you bring your production over to China, and then sometimes there's people with bad intentions and they have their own factories. I don't know. Yep. This one right here is it's real. It's just old. It does say Kershaw right here. If you get the light just right, you can see it. There we go. Kershaw Speed Safe. And then on the back, this was before they started doing the putting the American flag on it. It's also before they swapped their logo to the new one. So this is pre 2014. I broke the tip trying to fix it. Not going to complain about that. It's easier to sharpen without the tip. But it's got phosphor bronze washers and torsion bar spring assist, as it should. I've got 3 of them. I'm trying to get rid of one of them. Apparently nobody likes the serrated ones. It's so hard to get rid of the serrated ones. Like, I've got that thing up in a couple places for, I think, $35. Or it might even be 30. I think the leak's been around since the 90s. So the ruffian is this one right here. These things brand new are 50. It's smooth, AR RPM 9. If you've watched Laren Thomas's video on this, apparently it's not supposed to be 9 or AR or RPM. Or the AR is artisan cutlery, and then RPM is what was it? Something powder metallurgy. And then 9 was the amount of Don't you love when... How did it even figure that out? I hate when phones do stupid stuff like that. Oh, we're at a tie with the ruffian and the launch. I've been scared to carry this thing, honestly. I've owned this thing for over a year, and I've never had it in my pocket. For anyone curious, this is the Lucky 2. It's two S35 VN blades. One is fully serrated, and the other one is a plain edge. This is the Gerber Fast Draw. No clue what steel it is. And then this is the Launch one. You know, I never thought about what it would be if I had to tie. Let's hope I don't have a tie. Yeah, I don't have any. Well, I have the one ZT, but it needs help. You know, I think I've complained about Kershaw and ZT before. Their customer service, other than sending parts, is terrible. If you ever try and get an email chain with them, they won't even respond. It sucks. And I wish they did, because I'm trying to get parts for stuff, but I don't even know if they still make or have those parts in stock. Or when you send a parts request and it's all fine and dandy until you send a parts request, they don't send an email confirmation or anything, and then parts show up 2 to 3 weeks later, and that's great and all until they don't show up. And then what? That's what happened with my ZTs. I've been trying to get... It needs a new blade, and I'm willing to pay for it. It also needs a new spring for the lock bar, and what was the other thing that it needed? A spring for a lock bar, a new lock bar, because the old lock bar is screwed. It just needs some help, and I can't get the help for it that I want to get for it. It's like a $500 knife. And I can't, for the life of me, get them to respond to any emails. Well, let's see if... So yeah, if you guys know of a second email for Kershaw or a second email for ZT, do tell me, because unless they just don't respond and that's what they think is right. How you doing, Weld? And Gravy Seal, everybody's here. Now we just need knives, I guess, a vase of floppy disk. I guess we're missing a few people. Yeah, I've noticed that a decent amount of people that thought that they subscribed to me didn't. And then there's a decent amount of people who did subscribe to me that were unsubscribed by YouTube, and YouTube does that a lot. And I watch my subscriber count go down. It was like 4 in a day. And I think I had somebody comment saying yeah, exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can understand if somebody unsubscribes, right? That's up to you. If you don't like my content, I'm not telling you to subscribe. I'd never say it in any of my videos. I just want people to know that just because you think you're subscribed, because maybe you're getting notifications for stuff, yeah, exactly. You're getting notifications for my videos or something, doesn't mean you're subscribed. I get notifications for my own videos. I'm not subscribed to myself. I can't really do that. Believe me, if I could, I would, but I didn't. So, um, God, what is up with this flat spot? But yeah, just as a heads up, YouTube does unsubscribe people. It's mildly irritating, but it does happen. Um, I can't imagine being one of them larger YouTubers where you lose like 80 or 90 all at once. Yeah, I'm sitting at, well, I know it's gone up since I've started the stream, but I'm at least 293. I was at 292 earlier today when I checked. I don't check often because being obsessed with numbers isn't good for my health. So I don't do that. There we go. All right. Oh, that's just a burr. Okay. Yeah. So it's a Kershaw launch one. If it'll focus. Come on. There we go. Kershaw and ZT are under the same umbrella company named Kai USA. Kai also makes kitchen knives under a brand named Shun. And Kershaw has come out this year with their own brand of kitchen knives. Where was I going with that? Honestly, I'd go for a Kershaw over a ZT. It's just as snappy as any ZT I've ever held, which isn't many. Fit and finish is just fine. There's, even with this being a factory second, I can't find the blemish that made it a factory second. But I haven't done any, oh yeah, this is smooth. Nice and easy to press the button. This isn't auto, so yeah. No complaints so far, but I haven't carried it. Which, that's why we're here today. I haven't looked at the 350 in a while. I just know that I can't afford it, so why look at it when you can't afford it? Well, congratulations. Hopefully you enjoy it. Is the 350 assisted or is that manual? It's spring assisted? Okay. Well, if you look up the Kershaw Launch 1, that's what this is. This is a Kershaw 7100 TS, which is the tiger stripe. Is this an auto? No. It does. This one's the smaller one. I do have a larger one. I don't know. I enjoy it. The problem with it is I'm a little bit of a steel snob now, and 8CR is kind of getting old. There's nothing wrong with the knife. I just wish that they'd use slightly better materials. Like for something that's black coated, you think they'd use something that's not stainless? Or D2 even, because it's not stainless. My favorite steel? I don't know. What is my favorite steel? I think if I had some, I'd enjoy S90V. But I'm slowly growing out of the stainless only deal. If you guys were here, how long have I been? 30 minutes ago, you would have seen I spent about an hour and a half making a graph that shows a lot of stuff. This is a whole bunch of different blade steels and all of their composition numbers. This doesn't include how much iron they have in them, but anything that isn't shown on here is what's left. Yeah, so M4 right here, 0.25% copper. It's definitely an interesting steel. It's not stainless by any means. 1095 is surprisingly simple. I didn't know that it was so simple. It's around 1% carbon, 0.3 to 0.5% manganese, and then a couple impurities, and that's pretty much it. I think currently my favorite is 14C28N because it's easy to sharpen and holds an edge for longer than I thought it would. But I'm probably going to slowly move into 154CM being my favorite. I just need more knives in 154 to carry before I make that decision. God, I can't get this burr off. I can't describe to you how annoying it is not being able to get a burr off. You know what's interesting about surgical steel is when they call it that. One thing to keep in mind is steels that surgeons use on their surgical blades, their scalpels, those scalpel blades are thrown away after every use. So I'm sorry if I'm, yeah, disposable. There you go. But yeah, overall, HCR isn't bad. It's just there's better stuff out there. And I wish these larger companies that they know how to do stuff. I wish they'd take a little bit of extra money and stick it into their products. Okay, I guess that's understandable. If you enjoy sharpening that much, then sure, why not? You'd like 3CR then. 3CR's pretty simple too. Well, kinda. You'd like 420J2 though. 420J2 has terrible edge retention. I don't know. Knives, I guess, tested edge retention with 8CR, and with a 15 degree per side, I think it lasted 3.5 hours on cardboard. Why is it so cold in here? Uh, let's make sure that we're not thinking about the same knife. Do you want to say the full name of that knife? So I can sit here and shame you for what you've done? You're terrible. I don't think the blade isn't titanium, is it? It wouldn't do that. Titanium's edge retention sucks. And you can't get it hard enough. Oh, the scales are. Yeah. What, were you sharpening the scales? You need to you might have just really screwed up the heat treat on that thing. Like really, really screwed up the heat treat. They're not supposed to be getting hot enough to change the color. Well, I hope that you didn't screw up the heat treat, but next time I suggest using water or a heat sink or something to pull heat out of the blade so it doesn't overheat. What else to do? Well, at the moment, it looks like the launch one is going to be the one being carried. You have fun with that. I'm not religious, but I'll keep you in my prayers. Uh huh. I'm sure you wouldn't, but I don't know that. You'd be surprised at the stuff I've seen. I know a guy that uses a pull through sharpener for his Sabenza, and I have to sit there and watch him do it because he won't use a stone. So yeah, let's sit here and watch me sharpen 154 cm. This gets annoying. You know what's really interesting about 154 cm is how quickly it can sharpen. So what is a backpacker anyway? How you doing, 1977? Yep, 154 cm starting to be one of my favorite steels. Very quickly. $4:30 a.m. Jeez. I'm surprised nobody's picked the cold steel. Let's see if I can do it. Why am I missing so many spots? I tend to go heavy, so all my pants are basically falling down every time I'm walking around. My knives are really heavy. Well, ain't that a surprise? My phone's actually charging. On the average day, I carry 3 knives: my phone, my wallet, my keys, and I think that's about it. In total, in my pockets is about 2.5 pounds. Of stuff. And since I don't wear a belt, it would be nice if it would start, but okay. Oh, where did I put all that testing media? Let me check something real quick. I'll be back in a minute or two. I gotta go grab a whole bunch of paper. Woohoo, paper. I need to get better at sharpening. Just having trouble with this knife for some reason. Wonder why. Let's check my other knives. You know, I've yet to get an Opinel, and I've stuck one in my cart like 9 times. But the one that I want, they don't make anymore. It was a number 8 with oak handle. And what steel was it? It was the carbon steel version. And Blade HQ wanted like $14 for it. And I had it in my cart, and somebody else bought it. Okay, no big deal. Another one showed up. I wanted that in my cart. Or I had it in my cart. Somebody bought it. For anybody curious, that was me sharpening this. And holy crap, is this thing sharp. One of these days I'll get myself an Opinel. It's hard to spend money on new stuff when I'm getting the kind of deals I am with used stuff. And I'm trying to show off the nicer stuff on my channel, the stuff that I spend money on. But I have so much stuff, I might need to start uploading like twice a week. And I don't have any video backlog. It's just... Dang, that sucked. Where's it doing that? So yeah, I don't have any video backlog sitting there ready for whenever I decide I want to upload it. I make one or two every week or two, and then I run out, and then I'm like, oh crap, and I scramble to make a new video. And I used to have videos set out weeks in advance or months in advance, but I realized that when I did that and somebody commented, I didn't know what I said in the video, and it wasn't very professional, I guess. So I stopped doing that. And then I thought about doing it again and going a couple weeks in advance, but then I run out of motivation to make a new video or something. Heck yeah. Yeah, I don't go out into nature very often. We used to go camping all the time, but got rid of the trailer because it was just a huge debt that wasn't needed. Because we only used that trailer like 4 times in the 4 years we owned it. No point in keeping that when it's like a 70, 60 or $70,000 trailer and you only use it 4 times. Not worth it. Well, it looks like the launch one is going to be the one getting carried. So I do appreciate that. This is what I wanted to carry next week. Super excited for this thing. The video on this should be coming out in a couple weeks. I still haven't made that, but I will make that after the live stream's over. I don't think I have anything else to do or say, so let's just sit here and cut some paper or something. So, yeah, okay. So what's everybody else's favorite steel to carry? Ooh, that's a tough decision. I wouldn't go with the leak. Um, the PM2 is a little too long for me. I'd go for a PM3, but what's the Ritter Hogue steel? What do they use? I don't remember. The Ritter's a Griptilian, right? Basically. Yeah, I'd go for the Ritter. If you like longer blades, go for the PM2. It's not my decision to make. Maximate is a great steel. Insane edge retention. As long as you know how to sharpen, you're not going to have any problems with it. Just don't pry with it or anything because it's really brittle. Surprisingly, I don't have Maximate on that graph yet. 12C27 isn't bad. It's close to 14C. You're evil. I hope you know that. I'm really surprised that nobody's picked the cold steel. I guess everybody wants reviews on something they'd actually buy. This thing was ridiculously expensive for how small it is. It was $75. It is a nice knife. Here's the stupid Gerber that you voted for some reason. I paid way too much for this thing. I paid like $30. And it feels so cheap. Oh, I'm not looking forward to carrying this one. It's not left-hand friendly either. I don't know what you call safe, but I mean, I guess it's got a safety. Whoop-de-doo. You know what else has a safety? This other Gerber. This thing's way nicer than this one. S30V. The only reason this isn't on the list is because I'm trying to get Gerber to send me a new blade for it. It's got lock rock. Yeah, this one has a lock. Well, this is a Gerber Covert Auto. And they were going for a military contract when they made them. It's kind of slow, but let's see if we can fix that real quick. Let's stick some a little bit of oil in here. I don't mind serrations sometimes. It really depends. Most of the times I'll say no to serrations, but things like this where these things, it's $100 knife, right? This thing brand new was $120, and I got it for $4. I'm not going to complain about it having serrations when it's a $4 knife to me and it's a $120 knife to everybody else. And this one, I kind of just like the blade shape, so. And I had the chance to trade my Tonto version for this. Both of them had serrations anyway. Oh yeah, this one, back when they first came out, this is an insane steal for back then, especially from Gerber, when they actually used quality materials to make their stuff. Super impressive. Wish they still did that, but oh well. What do you do? I wish my email went through. So I sent them an email about it and about getting a blade replacement. because it's got lock rock. And lock rock is when you can see the blade moves without the handle moving. S30V is a super steel anyway. It's a great steel. And yeah, that's kind of funny. So yeah, now it snaps out quicker than it ever did. I'm probably going to have to send it in. They're probably going to, if they're going to replace the blade, I'm going to have to send it in. I really don't want to take that one apart. There's some of them I don't mind taking it apart. Things like even this, I would have taken the chance. Yeah, autos are illegal in a lot of places. Here, you can have any knife as long as it's not an automatic that's over 4 inches in length. And that cuts out like less than 1% of knives on the market. So, not a big deal. I'm not going to go complain about that because I don't carry a 5-inch automatic. And yeah, S35VN is insane. I didn't realize how complicated it was until I started doing a bit of research. Holy crap. There is so many materials in S40 or S35VN. It had almost everything across this whole entire board. Actually, pretty sure that automatics are illegal in Arizona. And how you doing, Jimmy? Let's zoom in a little here. Okay. So S35VN is right here. And it has all of this all the way across the board except nitrogen. So it has niobium, carbon, vanadium, chromium, molybdenum, manganese, nickel, phosphorus, sulfur, silicon, tungsten, and cobalt. Yeah, it's on a pizza box. It's hilarious. I spent an hour and a half making this thing. And it's got a whole bunch of different stuff. And I need to make a second one because this doesn't even have all the seals I wanted it to. All right, let's see here. Finally, somebody voted for the cold steel. Huh. I guess when I was there, I thought it was illegal. At least when I looked it up, it said it wasn't legal. Have your knife laws changed recently? Because I was there in 2022. I stayed there for a month and I couldn't carry some of my stuff. At least when I looked it up, it said it was illegal. That doesn't mean that it was. About 6 years ago. Okay. Well, lucky you. Oh, I've yet to show this off to anybody on here. I got something insane today. Really good deal. So this is a case, as you can see, it's a case holster for what was a Case Ranger with replaceable blades. And they had the handle, and they think the handle was stolen by somebody, which sucks. But it came with 2 blades for the case. one right here, and the saw blade. And these are just for something else. This whole set, if I had the full set, goes for like $400 or $500. And I got this whole deal right here for $5. Not to mention, I had this tested and the diamond here tested. The diamond's real, and this is 10 karat gold for $5. That's a ridiculously good deal. I made my money back in gold alone. But yeah, I'm super happy with that. No, I got it at a pawn shop. I'd say they knew what they had, but this time I know they didn't because I talked to them about it. I didn't tell them what it was worth, but yeah, me knowing shit and them not. Ridiculously good deal. Oh, I'm so happy with that. I looked it up. The only one that's on eBay is 500 and it's untouched. This one, it doesn't have this little gold piece right here. And I'm tempted to take it out, but if I take it out, I don't know how I'm going to put it back. It's a pretty cool deal. I also got, what else did I get today? I spent all my money today. I've got like $15 to my name today. I am the king of pawn shops at this point. If you look at my Instagram, holy crap, everything is just, I got this from a pawn shop for, oh, my Reddit. My Reddit account is also linked in my YouTube page. If you look at my Reddit account, it's hilarious because it's all just these knives that I got for ridiculously good prices and everybody being jealous about it. So this is an electrician's knife. I sharpened this earlier on the stream. It's made by Camillus back, I didn't check the date, but it's got a screwdriver. That locks. It's a locking screwdriver. Definitely a cool piece. Well, you already know the last knife I bought. It's this one. Dude, this week's been insane. I got this knife for $20. I traded for this knife. This knife was $4. It's a $4. Holy crap. What else did I get this week? Well, not this week, but in the last month, I've gotten this for 20. This case knife in carbon vanadium steel for 15. This case knife for 20. It's basically brand new. It's beautiful. Did I get this in the last month? Oh, if I did, QSP Penguin for 13. Yeah, I kind of figured you wouldn't go to your pawn shop's Punisher. I don't know how I saw that coming though. If Medford didn't, let's see. If I thought their products looked better, I might buy something. And his politics, I don't care about it. I couldn't care less. It's a knife. You know. Oh yeah. $13. D2. If it'll focus. Focus on my hand. Here you go. I don't know. I'd have to get a ridiculously good deal to get a Medford. Like 10%. I'd have to pay 10% of what they want brand new to get it. Like find it at a thrift store or something for $5 to $20, and I might get it. I would get it at that price. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. You never know what you're going to find. That's the whole reason why pawn shops exist. Now, is there anything else? Just continue talking. I don't have anything to do. I did that once. My old YouTube channel had I went to a thrift store and bought like 90 CDs that were they were just compact discs. They didn't have any music or weren't supposed to have any music on them. I'm playing with this one. It's fun. Exactly. It's not going to hurt if it's on your way to somewhere that you're going. Spend 5 minutes and go look. It's 5 minutes, you know? Not a big deal. But on an old channel, I spent $4 to get 80 or 90 compact discs and found a whole bunch of different music. And I'd say, like, I'd do one short every day for a couple months saying, what's on this CD? And press play on it, and it'd be rap or hip hop, or found some Prince music. It was a good time. I still have those things. It's just it doesn't align with this channel's whole deal. The Penguin. I love this thing. It's, oh my god. If you don't have, look, Bees Blades said it best. Get one of these. If you don't have one of these, get one. It is the best bang for your buck you can get. It looks good. It looks kind of fancy. It's got shredded carbon with blue G10 in pieces inside. D2 steel. Super smooth. This thing's just awesome. Yeah, you can get the Penguin in decent metals too. I don't know what all they make it in. After getting the one, I decided this one's good enough and I didn't need another. But it's dreamy smooth. I can't even explain how smooth it is. It's so comfortable too. It does. It's actually fairly thin. How do I put this? Let's move all this crap out of the way. It's about as thin as the Terminus. It looks bigger. It has a beefier blade, but it carries the same. And I actually like how this one feels more than I like this one. And I was tempted to pull this out of my pocket this week and replace it with this. You can get it in 20 CV. Dude, that's a killer deal. How much is that? I haven't listened to Metallica in months. I went from Metallica to Avenged Sevenfold to a whole bunch of freaking dubstep stuff in 2013, and then I've changed music genres so much. And somebody 175 to 190 for 20 CV. That's a little high. Yeah, that's a little high. I don't know if I'd spend that much on it. I'd be happy with 150 maybe. If you can find it on sale for 150, go for it. 20 CV. Do they tell you what they exactly? I mean, 120 would be great, but I know they're not going to do that. Ooh, I think I showed this in a video when I took this thing apart. This knife is really interesting on the inside. They used 2 phosphor bronze washers on each side, which is partially probably why it makes it so smooth. It's the only knife I've ever owned where they decided that they were going to do that. And it's super interesting to me. I'm a little curious why they didn't make this a 4-position pocket clip deal. I understand that tip up carry is what most people do. But I feel like there's spots on here to make it tip down carry as well that they could have done but chose not to. I don't know. It's not a big deal. Yeah, this thing has 4 washers. It's super weird. My least favorite blade steel is 420 J2 because I don't know if you guys watch Cedric and Ada on YouTube. He does sharpening videos and edge retention tests and stuff like that. Really good quality content. I'd watch it, check it out, and see if you like it. He did. Let's see, what was it? Not Kamikoto. There was another one that Husk Japan. They made really crappy knives out of I didn't know what pot metal was until I watched that video. I couldn't, for some reason, I didn't get it that it was metal used for making pots. I just thought it was crap metal, not actual metal used for making pots. Well, they did an upgrade to 420 J2 and they're selling it for like $80. And I feel terrible for all the people that have bought that stuff. It's insanely overpriced. I just feel terrible, you know? It's not my fault by any means. And that's why I push people away from 420 J2 is I know how bad it is. I've got a couple knives in it. God, Buck makes good looking knives with the worst steel. Yeah, I've never taken a Spyderco apart other than my ambitious. I think I've got one of those. I took that apart and couldn't even get it all the way apart because I was trying to clean it. And don't get me wrong, it's nice and smooth now, but that thing was a nightmare. It took me 25 minutes to get it apart as far as I could. And then after that, it took me another 30 to 45 minutes to put it back together. It was terrible. Anyway, I saw a buck today that I was tempted to get. It was basically one of these, but it had nice wood covers instead of the yellow synthetic. And they used frickin' 420J2 on it, and that's the only reason I didn't buy it. I know that I get good deals at or at the place that I was seeing it, but they're gonna want like 15 for it. Brand new, they're 32, and it's worth like 6. I would never. I feel terrible. I think the launch has secured its lead as the one that's going to be carried. I wouldn't mind having that knife because it's basically brand new. It's just, I don't know if I'm going to get a good enough deal. Plus, I ran out of money. So, let's see. I think next lowest in line is 3CR13. And 3CR13 is just kind of bad. It's not my least favorite. It's easy to sharpen. It does have a special place in my heart because it taught me how to sharpen. It's very responsive and material gets removed very quickly. So if you need yeah, tell me about it. I don't have any, well, that's not true. There's 5 knives on my list right now that I want more than anything else, but I can't afford them by far. The Sandrin knives Torino in carbon fiber. It's $300. I've never seen a used one that goes for less than that. They want more than that for them on eBay. I mean, what can you ask for, you know? There's a couple other ones that I want, but that's the biggest one that I want is the Torino. Sandrin, if you're watching, please sponsor me. Not that that's going to happen anytime soon, but I'd greatly appreciate it. I'd really love to do a review on one of those. Not that I use my knives for a whole lot, but I think what is my wish list is not that bad. And most of them are like $45 to $60 knives. But a couple of them are like 300 or 400. I just really want that Torino. I've thought about saving up for it, but I think the better idea is maybe when the economy's doing better and people have disposable money, maybe they'll start buying knives off of me. It's hard to support the channel right now. Yeah, I don't really chip them. I've lost a couple. I lost a case knife recently that I really, really enjoyed. You have a good night too, Mad. K320. I don't think I've seen one of those. Might have to look that up later. So this one's supposed to be, I'm holding this for somebody. I don't know if he's going to be able to afford it anytime soon. I hope he can. It's a case small or medium trapper. K320. K110 is D2. It's Bowler's D2. I don't know what K320 is though. But yeah, I'm holding this for somebody. It's amazing how I can pull blade steels out of my ass like that, huh? We'll see you later, 1977. Yeah, so I'm holding this for, if you guys follow him, his name is Clark Knives on YouTube. And the plans to sell this to him for $25 after shipping, which is a ridiculously good price, don't get me wrong. Brand new, they're like $62. But it already has that patina on it, so. And because of how picky I am with my stuff, anything that I buy to sell, I wouldn't buy if I wouldn't keep it. So yeah, this thing I'll probably take through the ringer with, I'll polish it, and we'll go ahead and take a bit of steel wool to the blade and make it look a lot nicer. And then we'll send it to him, and hopefully he'll be happy with it. I also have some knives coming up for sale pretty soon. I need to see how blade binge works. Need to learn about that before I do anything. Why not? I mean, what's wrong with it that you would want to send it in for? That's the better question. Ooh, another one of my dream knives. CRKT came out with a collaboration with Michael Walker. Not that everybody's going to know that name, but it's a big deal in the knife community. And again, not everybody's going to know his name in the knife community either, but he is a big deal. It's called the Pursue. And the CRKT Pursue is yep, that's probably true. The CRKT Pursue, you can get it in dark matter fat carbon, which is this, but with gold inlays or gold speckled around throughout it, and it looks really, really nice. And I think they did it in M390, but I'm not 100% sure. Somebody can double check on that for me if you want to. But Paul Walker is the person who invented the liner lock. So you can thank him for any of these knives that have a liner lock like this. It's such an amazing, just the thought of that guy was born in 1949, and he's still kicking around. Not to mention, he's still designing knives. I can't wait to get one of those things. Just be careful with the flash too, because it's got a spring in it somewhere, and I don't remember how to take those things apart. I've never heard of the guy until a couple months ago, and then I'm like, that name sounds familiar, and I saw that they did a collab with him, and I'm like, no way. And it's got a liner lock too, so most of his stuff goes for like $500 to $600, and this collab with CRKT is 400. Not that that's cheap, but that's another one of my dream knives. I like the history behind stuff. I don't know whose live streams he'd be in, but it wouldn't surprise me. Now, I haven't mentioned it in a while. I am designing knives to try and collaborate with CRKT, and hopefully that goes somewhere. Yeah, they made a set of them out of Corvettes or Camaros, and I thought about getting one of those, but $517 is a lot of money, and it's a lot of money for somebody like me, not just in general. They also made some of those out of AK-47s too. Ooh. Haha. This is a DMT Finestone. I'm going to replace this in the coming months. I've got other ideas for other stones that I want. But it's like 7 or 8 years old. It's a diamond plated stone. And for anybody wondering if I just cut myself, no, I did not. It's a good stone. Also, for anybody else wondering, I plan on being one of the only knife YouTubers that never cuts themselves on camera. But if I do, you'll know about it. It's also going to be age restricted because I don't edit my videos. Which probably also explains why my YouTube channel isn't growing very fast. No clue why people are setting off fireworks today. Yeah, I'm not bad, but I wouldn't say I'm a professional. I'm just trying to remove the burr right now, and that takes some time. And my angles aren't perfect, and my edge bevels aren't even all the time. And that's not what I'm after. yet. One of these days I will be, though. No. I've never, honestly, she follows me, or she subscribed to me on YouTube, and she follows me on Instagram. And I subscribed and followed back, and I've never watched any of her videos. I kind of feel bad about that, but I watch Outdoors 55 videos more. There we go. Even bevel. It is, this is a chippy steel. I've come to notice that. Okay, guys, I'm going to end the poll here. We're at 2 hours in. I don't think we've ever seen her mention that. The launch one officially won. So, thank you all for playing. I guess I win. Whoop-de-doo. I haven't talked to her a whole lot. Yeah, I haven't been watching him very long either. I just like being able to see chat, because when you're sitting there watching a live stream, and like tonight's live stream by Metal Complex, holy crap. Oh, I just have this. This is all I have. It works fine for me. And let me tell you, this sharpener sucks for reprofiling. It's nowhere near as bad as Metal Complexes. Metal Complexes is terrible. Tonight it was just insane. I don't join his live streams. He's the reason I don't watch his videos either is he's got a condescending, it feels condescending the way he talks. It's the confidence behind the voice that I don't. It's like he's not trying to teach you, he's trying to, I don't know, tell you you're doing it wrong. I only so I I postponed my stream tonight by 30 minutes to sit there at his stream and hopefully win something for the channel, but that didn't happen. So Yeah, I postponed the stream by 30 minutes for almost no reason. I saw a couple people from B's channel on there. One of these days, I'll get that kind of attention with my channel. And it'll happen. And I'll be happy about it. I don't have any money. I'm for the rest of the month I'm living off of $15. So, oh, you mean why don't I make it so I can receive donations, or why don't I give donations? Cuz I don't give donations cuz I'm broke. Oh, so you need to have 500 subs for that to happen. And I think I'm still below 300. I'd say that's pretty sharp. Yeah. I saw Watch City Knives there tonight for 5 seconds. Through the whole live stream, I saw him for 5 seconds. Yeah, so I need to have 500 subs and 3,000 watch hours. I'm sitting at 119 watch hours. If they don't like my content, don't make them subscribe. I only want people that enjoy my content, right? I don't want you feeling like you're obligated to subscribe. That's why I don't tell people to subscribe. It's all up to them. If somebody doesn't like somebody's content, and I don't like being told to subscribe, right? If I'm sitting there watching a video, I'll be watching it and I'll think it's a good video. Sure, they'll remind me to subscribe, but I won't. I'll go and watch a couple of their other videos if I'm interested. And if I'm interested in like 5 of their videos in a row, or 5 of those videos in general, I'll subscribe because I know I'm going to like their content. I want people to enjoy my content and subscribe for that reason. I've noticed that if you comment on somebody's video and people like your comment enough, they'll subscribe from that. If you think they'll enjoy my content, feel free to do so. But I suggest you watch a few of my videos before telling people to subscribe, because sure, they're kind of informative, but I don't know, not everybody likes it. I can tell because 85% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. And that's one of those things I just look at every once in a while. It's not something that I stare at. I do pride myself. No. I'm just another guy, you know? I'm My mom said I was special, and I think she meant retarded, but we'll go with special. Well, I'm just another guy. I'm no different than anybody else. I just have a YouTube channel and make content. If you want to do that, do it. I mean, nothing's stopping you from making a video. And I tell people, my channel started because a knife company pissed me off. And we're a year and a half later and I've got almost 300 subs. There's 300 people in the world that watch my content. Yeah, just about nobody's special. So that's a friendly reminder that just because people think they're special doesn't mean they are. And just because your mom said you're special doesn't mean you're special either. Dude, I hate listening to my videos. There's a reason I don't edit my videos is I don't like the sound of my voice. If I did, I'd do more editing, but I don't. I don't know what you do about that other than slowly get more comfortable with your voice. It's something to work on. You got to work on the confidence behind your voice. And again, I'm not going to tell you to go make a video. I just want you to find a reason to try. Maybe there's. Now, I'm not going to say make gaming content because that's gaming content is super saturated right now. You're not going to find your niche might not get picked up. It might, but it might not. And I don't know what niche is going to get picked up next. It happens randomly. I'll never understand the YouTube algorithm. Like this one video that I made. I made a short talking about why I'm returning my CJRB Pyrite. Everybody said it was like the best knife of the year last year. And guess what? I didn't like it. And a bunch of people talk trash about me in the comments for it. Yeah, transparent clothing try-on videos do seem pretty popular. I've never seen one of those pop up on my feed, by the way. All the videos that pop up on my feed are comedy. Because the only reason I'm on YouTube is because I'm bored and need something to laugh at. And I'd prefer laughing at somebody else instead of laughing at myself. But yeah, the YouTube algorithm picks up random stuff and throws it into the air and body slams it. That's just what it does. I've seen it happen to my videos multiple times where you'll get a video that gets traction. It'll get like 5 or 6,000 views and then it stops and it just dies right there. Nobody ever watches it again. And what do? You just make another video. That's all you can do. It's all just for fun anyway. If you're doing it for money, you better be paying money to make money because it's hard to get somewhere with this. People think it's one of the easiest jobs ever. Sure, it's not physically demanding, but it's mentally demanding. It takes a lot of mental fortitude to do to keep up with everything that goes on in I don't know, it's just hard to keep up with stuff. Do I make knife content? Is that what you were asking? Because, oh, okay. I was like, I mean, I do, yeah. I have been for a bit. I've been known to make a video or two. Oh, beautiful. So I've got this thing nice and cleaned up. Not fully cleaned up, but while we've been sitting here talking, I've been put a little lube in here so that it doesn't pull my fingernail off. You know, maybe I should do that. Every once in a while, I should just post a video telling people to go make a video. You know, it's not going to hurt. So, real quick, can we all agree that this is pretty sharp? Oof. Yep. I'd say that's pretty sharp. It's a really chippy blade steel. There's a lot of chips coming out of this thing. Just from paper. Dang. Well, glad to hear I did a decent job. I wouldn't want to get cut by it, I'll tell you that much. Let's see if this will help. But yeah, motivational content is definitely needed in the world. I don't see a whole lot of it on my feed. Mine's mostly knives and funny stuff and sometimes cars. But every once in a while I get one of those videos from Pirate Software, and I like his content because is that the guy that dresses up like a Viking? Because I like his content and he's funny. I don't listen to any of the motivational stuff that he makes, but I get some history stuff in my feed. I collect a lot of knives that I think have historical value to me. I don't think I've ever seen him do death diving. I hate the thought of that, by the way. That sounds terrible. Like, oh yeah, if you do this wrong, it'll crush your lungs and you're gonna fucking die. Yep. Yeah, my cat passed earlier this year. It's crazy. It's almost been 2 months already. I swear, blood clots and cancer are the worst. So this is all nice and cleaned up. Sharp. We'll go ahead and start working on these. Yep, we'll see you later, Jimmy. You have a good night. So, Punisher, is there any specific knife that you're looking for? Are you interested in slip joints? Because there's a lot of slip joints out there that are really inexpensive but really good quality. The Deca is a good knife. I've never actually held one in person, but everybody seems to like it. It's not something I can afford, so I don't really look at something like that. But I also think that there's other things that I'm more interested in, so I do keep up with stuff that I'm not interested in. Just so when somebody brings it up in conversation, I'm not useless in the conversation. Yeah, I always suggest go to a pawn shop on the way to somewhere else if you're not busy and you don't need to be there. Just drop by, see what they've got. You never know what you'll find. A lot of pawn shops have a box full of what they consider trash, and that's where I get some of my stuff. This one, okay, let me be very clear. This one I got in a box full of trash. This I got in a box full of trash. Right? This is ridiculously expensive with a piece of 10 karat gold and a diamond in there. It's not cheap. I bought it for $5. I'm not going to tell them what it was, but what are you going to do, you know? I go and spend 3 hours at a pawn shop that's about 2 or 3 miles from my house because I'm bored. Yeah, I understand that. If you've got other plans, there's no point in doing it, but if you don't have anywhere that you need to be, what's it going to hurt? I mean, other than your wallet, what else is going to hurt? There's plenty of knives. Again, I buy most of my knives now at pawn shops because I can't get. There you go. That explains it. Well, let's. Here on the table, I have 20 something knives. And let's go ahead and bring out all the knives that I bought from pawn shops. Go ahead and try and make them all fit. I've been to Tucson. I was there for a month. I think I said that earlier. I didn't stop into any pawn shops because I was busy, but it was hot there when I was there. It was like every day for the whole month I was there. I think it averaged at 113. This wasn't at a pawn shop. This was at a thrift store, but I'm going to add it anyway. Okay, so when I put all these in here, I'm going to tell you how much I bought them for and how much they're worth brand new. Not that any of these are brand new. It's just something to keep in mind. Okay. Here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 16 knives out of 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh. 17 out of 24 knives on the table I bought from pawn shops. And I'm going to tell you the prices of all these. This one I got for 10. And brand new, they're 40. I got this for 5. They don't make these anymore, I don't think, but it's probably around 40 bucks, 30 or 40. 25, or I got this for 15, and brand new, they're 62. 20 and brand new, they are 56. 10 brand new, they're 56, 55 or 56. 65 brand new, these are 200. 13 brand new, these are 39. 423 brand new, these go for 100. This was 20 brand new, since it is a factory second, is about 90. 20, these go for like 110 or 150. Another 10 bucks, this goes for about 40. 10 bucks, this goes for 62. 25, these go for 60. 60 or a little more. 10 bucks, these go for 50, I think. 100. These go for $240. Another 25. I think this one's 45. 160. These go for $400 to $500. Definitely one of my best buys right here. So if anybody wants to pull out a calculator, we can figure out how much I've saved. Yeah, sure. So the full-size fossil or the mini? I think the price went up because of inflation. Okay. So, pretty sure the mini's fake. That's something to keep in mind. Do you have any questions about this that you want answers for? Or I'm actually selling this thing right now. I've never taken it apart. It's basically brand new. It's a good knife. This is a good knife. It's just, it's a little too rough on pockets for me to carry. Yeah, this one's for sale right now for, I think, 35 after shipping. I have it, like, it's ridiculously low. It's because nobody's buying my shit. And I'm trying to save up for a resin printer, and it's like $300 or $400. Not to mention, I also need resin for it. I need to learn how to use it. It's going to be an expensive endeavor. Then eventually, once my knife's released, if it ever does get released, then my name will be out there. People will know who the channel's owned by. So one thing about that is CRKT will send you parts for free if you order them. And if you can get it out, then you're good. I'd also suggest putting some heat to the screw side and not the back side. Put some heat on the screw side, and that should help with releasing on stuff like that. Something like a soldering iron or something, but only do it for a few seconds. Yeah, one of the other things that sucks if I ever sell one of these to a subscriber, then the subscriber knows my name too. Great. Because that's all I want out there is my name and everything. Oh, yeah. They tend to do that with a lot of their stuff. Not too big of a thing to complain about, though. What can you do? Has anybody else had that problem where you try and send an email through like Gmail or something and it says that the email is queued? I don't know if you're allowed to do that. I think you have to put a legal name. I'll call and ask, but not right now. It's 10:02, and I promise you they're closed. But yeah, I'll see if I can do that. If I can do that, I'll sell my knives through my channel. If people want to buy them, I do. I give ridiculously good prices. It's not even a joke. I haven't had any problems with the CRKTs, M16s. These things are just fine. This thing's ridiculously sharp too. I know your real name. It's Punisher. Duh. Something like that. Or TP2. TP for your bunghole or something. Yeah. Anyway. God, we've been going for 2.5 hours already. Yeah, your nickname for me is just Punisher because that makes it easy. However, I do wonder if it makes it hard to see when people are talking to you in like B's channel. If it makes it hard to see when people use stuff like TP2 or something like that. We'll see you later, Landon. So, one thing that's interesting about this knife is all the body screws are T8 except for this one down here, and that's a T6. Oh, so that means that you don't respond to me on purpose on his streams. I see how it is. That explains everything. Well, once I finish, if they do send me a new blade or if they replace the blade on this thing, I'm just joking around. It doesn't bother me much. There's a lot of people talking in there. So if they do replace the blade on this thing for me, I'm going to put some blue Loctite all over the whole thing and all these screws and everything. Because these screws back themselves out because of how hard this thing hits. Also, yeah, Weldon Carey the other day, he was rude. He said hi to everybody else except for me. Can you believe that? I joined into B's stream and said hi and started talking to people. And he's sitting there saying hi to everybody else that joins, but doesn't say hi to me. The disrespect, I swear. I gotta go make fun of him for that again. Yeah, if anybody else is interested in case knives like this, there's a green one that I've got being held for me at the pawn shop that's got a chip right here that needs repaired. It's green bone. And there's a white one that's got a bent tip on the clip point. And I'm selling both of them for $50 after shipping. And they're nice and they hold them for me like that. Not that everybody's listening. I mean, there's only 2 people here other than me. Now, there's just 1 person here other than me. So that one I really don't want to sell, but if I do sell it, it's probably going to be the least I'd take for it is like $155 after shipping. Because I really don't want to get rid of this thing, but that's a lot of money to stick back in my pocket so that maybe I can get further into that resin printer. I mean, would you be more interested in a Tonto version? Do you like Tontos? Because I could sell the Tonto for less. So the Tonto version, it's literally made for stabbing. This back spine on this thing is huge on that one. It's like, so this one's like this thin. The other one's like that. It is freaking massive. That thing is built for stabbing. It shoots out just as fast as this one. Nice and hard. I traded the Tonto version for this one at the pawn shop. That one I could probably get rid of for $135 after shipping, as long as it's somewhere in the US, because I don't want to do customs forms. But yeah, if you think you want it in the next couple weeks, tell me, because I don't know how long they'll hold it for. They're not holding it for me at the moment. And I've been trying to sell it in a couple other places, but nobody seems to want it. But yeah, I'll sell it to you for $135. That's $105 off of brand new price. The Cerakote's coming off a little bit on the blade. But yeah, I'd love to move something like that. Any money I can make right now is, 20 bucks is 20 bucks. And I'm sure on this one they're going to make me pay tax for it too, so. Yeah, I get it. I'd say I'd hold it for you, but having $100 tied up into a knife is a lot of money. That's why I buy things like this. I got four. Well, let's see. I got this knife, and this knife. These three were 30 bucks. And I'm trying to pedal them off to anybody. I'm almost down to, like, these two are 25 each right now. That's after shipping. This thing's 30 after shipping. There's nothing wrong with them. Heck, this one's got an edge where I can cut squirrels in magazine paper. This thing's a freaking miracle. I just wish people would want it. This one's not for sale. This one's for sale. This one was 10 bucks. I'm also getting rid of this one for 25. The longer I hold on to them, the more money I'm losing on them. It really sucks. But again, once the economy gets better and people have more money to spend on frivolous things, I'm sure that they'll be gone quickly. They're good knives. Tontos really aren't my thing. I bought it because I knew somebody would want it, but after buying it, I realized nobody wants serrated knives. I didn't even think about it when I was buying it, that serrated knives don't sell well at all. It's just those kids that are like, ooh, this is cool, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to get this. And then they get it and they never use it for the intended purpose. like, you know, cutting rope, um, cutting somebody's pants off in an emergency. I don't know. Nobody ever uses them for the intended purpose. Not nobody, but most people. Fun fact, not that I endorse this, but you can buy a serrated knife, get a belt sharpener from Work Sharp, sharpen it down a lot until the serrations are gone. And if it doesn't have any code on it saying that it's a, hey, this is a serrated knife, then the manufacturer will assume that it is not a serrated knife and send it in, get a new blade. I don't know. Doesn't work for all knives, and I wouldn't recommend doing it at all, but you know, what do you do? It's something like I really want that Spyderco makes an ambitious. So I have something called the, it's not the tenacious, it's a something shuss. Yeah, you could do that if they have a blade replacement deal. Make sure that there's no date marker on the blade, because if it's a new blade, somebody's going to figure that out. Really wish I could tell who joins the live streams. But yeah, the knife I'm looking at, it's a Spyderco in S35 VN. It's a lightweight with blue handles, and it's a good knife. It's just, it's fully serrated. Oh, well, howdy. I'm surprised I'm still on here. It's almost 3 hours. I'm just sitting here messing around talking about stuff that's perfectly legal and not, nothing that I would not endorse. How long have you been listening? If you've been listening long enough, I don't endorse whatever I was just talking about. So, is there anybody else on here that has any questions about anything while we're sitting here looking at all my crap? Oh, I'm not going to look forward to cleaning this up. I think I'm going to end the stream at the 3-hour mark. That's almost 7.5 minutes from now. So if there's anybody, yep, we'll see you in the next one if you're here. I don't know when the next one's going to be. It might be next Saturday. Because Saturday is when I pick what knives I carry for the next week. And I'll give everybody options. My legs are cold. Yep, we'll see you some other time. Dang, I'm going to be left alone for the last 7 minutes. Oh, there's somebody here. Whoever that last person is, do you have any questions or anything, or you just sitting there? You know, take that as a no questions and you're just sitting there because you just left. Hey, 2 more people. Cool. Well, for the 2 new people, stream is going to end in about 5.5 minutes because I've been going for almost 3 hours. If you have any questions about knives or anything, then feel free to ask while I'm still around. I'll answer everything I can. That makes sense. Mm. Now we got 3 people in here. Do any of you 3 people have any questions that you'd like to ask about knives? I'll take that as a no because most of you left. We got 3 minutes left until the stream ends. Anybody with any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments. this one. Okay, this one is a Hogue EX-A01, and this is a Gerber Covert Auto. It's in S30V, great steel, highly suggest it. The Auto brand new, I don't know if they still make them, but when they did, they were about 125. I got that one from a thrift store for $4. If you can't get them on eBay, where can you get those? I'm not 100% sure where you can find those anymore. Maybe check Arizona Custom Knives or something. I think that's what the company's called. They sell knives that have been discontinued. Here's how you spell it. And it's a Gerber. You all good? Yeah, no problem. Enjoy your hunt. They are a little pricey, but I'd say it's worth it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and end the stream in 25 seconds. So, going to say go ahead and have a great rest of your night, day, or wherever you're from, whatever time it is. We'll see you in an upcoming stream or video. Hopefully you enjoyed the video or stream, and have a great rest of your night. We'll see you later.